6 seasons and a movie. It is now official. About a month ago when there were people running around saying it's official now, it wasn't official, but it is now official. Peacock has officially ordered a movie of Community. Woo! And the Community fans everywhere are excited. But really, this should be called Community Sorta. That should be the name of the movie.
Community mostly white.
Hyphen sorta. Because, here's the thing, it says the original cast is returning. But that's not really completely true. Obviously, Chevy Chase is not coming back. I mean, everybody knew that Chevy Chase wasn't going to come back, so that's not a surprise. What is a surprise is that there's a couple of other names that are completely synonymous with this show.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
We mean
Great
what
recovery.
you know. Yeah.
That may not be in this thing at all. This comes to us from Variety, wrote the following. Further details, including a director and an estimated premiere date, have not yet been shared. Also unanswered is whether other key Community cast members, including Yvette Nicole Brown and Donald Glover, might still make an appearance or maybe even a cameo. It's probably safe to say that Chevy Chase, who had a falling out with the show and whose character eventually died, will not be back. So here's the thing. When you're talking about Yvette and Donald Glover, who's clearly the biggest star out of anybody who's in the show, with the possible exception of Chevy Chase. I mean, he's the bigger star right now, but, overall. So Donald Glover, Childish Gambino, he's clearly the biggest star. Yvette was probably one of the most personality-infused characters in the show.
Shirley was incredible.
She was a dominant character in the show. And so getting this movie together without those two characters, I mean, again, it's a shame that you couldn't do it without Chevy Chase, but he'll never come back to do this anyway. So that's whatever. But still, listen, a lot of people who I've been wanting to see a Community return, but I remember when we talked about this last month, we said, okay, if it happens, could it be good? And we're all like, yeah. But then we asked the question, but what happens if Donald Glover doesn't come back? And everybody was like, well, can you really do it without Donald Glover coming back? I mean, you can. So they did a season without Donald Glover coming back, although that was probably one of the weaker seasons. But but listen, if you're a Community fan, this is good news. But, to me, it's like doing a Seinfeld movie without George or Elaine. I mean, it's not really a Seinfeld thing. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it. Now, granted, I like Community. I'm not the biggest fan like some people are. So I'm sure there's a lot of Community fans who are like, whatever. Even if it was just Ken Jeong and Joel McHale back, that's good enough, right? Or even if it was just Pootie or whatever, that's good enough. And Allison Brie, that's good enough. So I'm sure if you're a super diehard fan, you'll take whatever you can get at this point. But I don't know, Chris, you hear about this. They're doing the Community movie. Yeah. Great. It's going to be straight to Peacock. Okay. But no word. Probably Donald Glover's not yet there. No word if Yvette's going to be there. I don't know how you feel about this overall.
It's kind of like when someone's like, I made you chocolate chip cookies, but I subbed out the chocolate chips for healthy things instead. And there's also hidden spinach. And because it's, a Community movie. Yay! All right, it's going to Peacock. Oh, okay, that's fine. Troy and Shirley aren't in it. Because Troy is my most quotable character in this show. And his dynamic with Abed is why I watched Community. I love Troy and Abed in the morning. So good. That's what I want. And if Jim Rash isn't in this, I'm out, right? If I don't have the Dean in there, I'm not excited about this. I'm still probably going to tune in. I want to give it like a decent shot and everything, but that really does lower my anticipation level for this because I love them so much. I want Troy in there yelling about reading Rainbow and saying things about his emotions. We'll see how this goes.
Why do you know about putting spinach in chocolate chip cookies? That's just the most horrific thing I've ever
I'm a terrorist.
Rob, what do you think about this? Is it still value in doing it?
Here's what I would say to you. Not to bring up Star Trek, but I'm going to bring up Star Trek.
What?
In the mid 70s, before they made Star Trek the motion picture, they were doing Star Trek Phase 2. And they had Leonard Nimoy wasn't going to be in it. And they had David Gautreaux, who was playing Zahn, who was a Vulcan. Then they decided to make a movie. And Leonard Nimoy came back to play Spock. I think Donald Glover, you can't make Community without him.
Especially, now remember, they did make Community without him.
I know, but did anyone, you just said it was weak season. It was kind of weak sauce. I love Donald Glover. I still think that they should take the supporting cast of The Martian, the NASA crew, including, Sean Bean and Donald Glover, and just make a show about them. Because I love Donald Glover as a performer. He's a great Lando.
Such
He was
a
a
good
really good
Lando.
He's great. He's
Yeah,
a great
he was a
Lando.
really
They're
good
talking about
Lando.
doing a Lando. Where's the Lando series? I think he's going to come back. I have no reason to believe this. I've not read anything. I think that actors, they love their audience. They want to be adored. Why wouldn't he come back? Like, even if he comes
Because
back.
they can't pay him what his rate is right now.
Yeah, but I bet he'll come back anyway.
Well,
Because you know what? He doesn't want to be that guy for the rest of his life, wherever he goes, why wouldn't you do the Community movie, dude?
okay, but let me ask you this question. Do you really believe that a Community movie on Peacock is going to be so pop culturally pervasive that everybody's going to be asking the question, why wasn't Donald Glover in the Community movie?
I don't think everybody's that good, but people are going to ask him.
You think so?
Yeah,
Really?
I do. I think because the Community has a huge, loyal, very vocal fan base. People love Community. And the thing is, once something's on streaming, people aren't going to remember in 5 years that, I didn't know they weren't going to make a Community movie. There's going to be the show and the movie. And people are going to say to him for the rest of his life.
See, here's the thing. I think there's going to be the show, and some people might remember that there was a movie. I don't think there's going to be the show and on equal footing, the movie
I don't know.
on Peacock.
Once it's
I
on
don't know.
streaming, man, people just watch stuff. They leave Community on all day, every day. They just watch it
Yeah, Anne's
over
done
and
that. My
over.
wife has done that.
See what I mean? Like
But remember, Donald Glover's also a very busy guy right now.
Yeah.
He's got a whole ton of shit going on.
true.
And you know that making a movie is not a small time commitment. So, I mean...
but they'll probably shoot this like a TV show. The 25 days.
What
I
if
think we're
they-
going to see a cameo.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if they handle this like on Kim's Convenience with Shang-Chi, right? Where we would have, Simu coming in and just doing Skype calls with his
For the one
girlfriend.
season,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if we have those kind of cameos from Donald Glover, are you guys in? Or is that kind of a cop-out for you?
I think it's a compromise.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that'll satisfy the Community fans, though.
Yeah.
If anything, would it just be a reminder that he's really not in the movie?
That's true.
I mean, I don't know. And then do they just pull a Chevy Chase thing and say, it's a terrible thing that he died last year?
No, you
Are
can't do
they
it.
just going to pull a Chevy Chase
Nah.
with Tom
Troy
Cruise's
lives
character
forever.
And say,
They gotta
man,
bring
that
it
sucks
back.
that Troy died last year. I mean, I don't know. Or again, listen, the report does not specifically say that Yvette and Glover will not be in the show. They're just saying, out of all the casts that are being reported that returning, they're not listed. So, I mean, maybe something can happen at some
I
point.
hope
but
Yvette Brown signs back on. She's great.
I
Gosh,
mean,
Shirley's so fun and layered.
Her character, I might say her character's my favorite character in the show. I just adore her. But, I adore, I adore Alison Brie's character. Anyway,
Yeah.
guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? Are you excited for a Community movie in general? Are you as excited if those two do not actually return for this movie, or does it bother you at all that it's going to be a straight to Peacock as opposed to a theatrical? I don't know. Whatever you guys are feeling about this, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. We want to take a second and thank a sponsor of this video, Stamps.com. Guys, I know it feels early, but Christmas really is right around the corner. And if you've got a lot of stuff to send to family this year, you got to start thinking ahead. And if you're a small business owner, you know how important it is to be ready for the insane holiday season. Stamps.com has everything you need to make your life a whole lot easier. It's the 24/7 post office that you can access from anywhere. No lines, no traffic, no hassle. Get access to the USPS and UPS services that you need to run your business right from your computer. Protect your margins with major discounts from USPS and UPS rates up to 86% off. All you need is a computer and a printer. We all know that rates are always changing, but with Stamps.com's Switch and Save feature, you can easily compare carriers and rates so you know that you're getting the best deal every single time. And if you're running an online store, Stamps.com works seamlessly with all the major shopping carts and marketplaces. So get ahead of the holiday season chaos this year. Get started with Stamps.com today. Sign up with the promo code CAMPEA for a special offer that includes a 4-week trial plus free postage and a free digital scale. No long-term commitments or contracts required. Just go to Stamps.com, click on the microphone at the top of the page, and enter the code CAMPEA.